So now that the new iPad Air 5 and Galaxy Tab S8 are available, it can be a tough choice between the two, considering both are really good options. So in today's video, we're taking a closer look at both to help you make your decision a little bit easier. Pricing starts at $600 for the iPad, $700 for the Galaxy Tab S8. But just keep in mind, that's full retail price, so it's really gonna depend on how much you wanna spend. You're gonna get 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage with 64 or 256 gigabytes of storage for the iPad. You also get a 10.9-inch Retina display with 2360 by 1640 resolution. That the new iPad Air 5 11-inch LCD 2560 by 1600 resolution on the Galaxy Tab S8. Weird thing is the iPad looks just a tad brighter versus the Galaxy Tab, but the colors almost seem a little more vibrant or saturated on the Galaxy Tab. Both tablets look really good when watching movies, playing games, reading, pretty much whatever you do on here. You get really good viewing angles on both. Both of these tablets are so close when it comes to screen quality that it's pretty hard to pick which one is better, and it's probably going to be personal preference, but you really can't go wrong with either one. You're also going to get 2160p resolution when watching YouTube videos, full HD playback on Netflix. So even though the colors may be a tad different, good thing is both tablets have really nice quality when it comes to the screen. You also get 120 Hz refresh rate on the Galaxy Tab, only 60 Hz the new iPad Air 5, but in my usage, I haven't really noticed a huge difference between the two. Surprisingly, the iPad is still fairly smooth, even at half the refresh rate, but this might be a more important feature to some people out there. For me, I like to see devices that have the higher refresh rate, but it's not going to be a deal breaker. I feel like as long as everything is nice and smooth, that's definitely more important to me. You get an 8,000 milliamp hour battery in the Tab S8, 7,606 milliamp hour battery in the iPad Air. During my battery drain test, I got about 5 hours, 15 minutes on the iPad, which really isn't that good. Now, don't get me wrong, it'll last about twice that if you turn the screen brightness down, but I got 7 hours battery life on the Galaxy Tab S8 during that same test. But both tablets should last you through the entire day with normal usage. You'll get even longer turning the screen brightness down. But yeah, if you want the tablet with better battery life, you're probably going to want to grab the iPad. Another really nice feature on the Galaxy Tab is you get 45 watt super fast charging. You only get 20 watt charging on the iPad. Now, probably the biggest difference between these two is going to be when it comes to the software. Some people are going to prefer iPadOS, others prefer Android. Luckily, I'm one of those people that actually like both. And you can even do some multitasking on both tablets, connect a keyboard and mouse to be a little more productive. But for me, I sort of like Samsung DeX over how the iPadOS is set up. Both are good though, and it's going to be personal preference when it comes to which software is better for you. Nice thing is you get the S Pen included with the Galaxy Tab. You can also use the 2nd gen Apple Pencil with the iPad Air, but just keep in mind that's going to cost extra. Both work pretty good though, although I feel the Apple Pencil is a little bit more limited in the way that it works only in certain areas, where with the S Pen you can use it just about anywhere. You also get a fingerprint scanner there on the power button for both tablets, so definitely a nice feature to have, and they're both pretty reliable as well. One thing that you are going to get with the Galaxy Tab that you don't get on the iPad is the ability to expand your storage up to 1 terabyte with a micro SD card. When it comes to performance, you're going to get the new M1 processor in the iPad Air 5, making it one of the fastest iPads available. Then you're going to get the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor in the Galaxy Tab S8. Overall, both tablets feel nice and smooth, and these are going to be some of the best performing tablets you can get right now. You'll notice in Geekbench testing, the iPad is quite a bit faster or more powerful than the Galaxy Tab, not only in single and multi-core scores, but also in compute scores. Having said that, you can't really go wrong with either one, considering they're some of the most powerful tablets you can get from Samsung and Apple right now. And one thing I will mention though, if you plan on doing video editing, in my experience, the iPad does a little bit better job. It's just smoother and doesn't lag as much versus the Galaxy Tab. Even though I do prefer using the S Pen over the Apple Pencil, overall though, for video editing, I would definitely recommend going with the iPad for better performance. Now gaming is going to be good on both tablets as well. During my testing, I didn't have any slowdowns, overheating issues, or anything like that while playing PUBG Mobile and Asphalt 9. As you can see, the graphics look good, and both are going to be good options for gaming. But if you want the tablet that's better at gaming, then yeah, you're probably going to want the iPad. Another nice thing you're going to get on both tablets is speakers on both sides, but Apple is sort of sneaky here. They make it look like there's a quad speaker setup, where the Galaxy Tab actually has 4 speakers, and it's pretty noticeable when comparing these two right next to each other. It may still come down to personal preference, but in my testing, I feel like the Galaxy Tab speakers sound better and are definitely louder. But here's a quick sample of each just to see what you think. Cameras are actually going to be somewhat similar with these two. You get the new auto framing feature with Samsung using their front-facing camera. It's going to be very similar to Center Stage on the iPad Air. It's going to be a 12 megapixel on the iPad. Same thing on the Galaxy Tab when it comes to front-facing cameras. And they're actually pretty good, especially for tablets. They might not be as good as flagship cell phones or even some mid-range ones, but you can shoot up to 4K 30 frames per second on the Galaxy Tab, 4K 60 frames per second on the iPad, and that's going to be on the rear-facing cameras. So if you're looking for a tablet for Zoom meetings or video conference calls, these are probably going to be some of the better options out there. Here's a few samples of each, just to give you an idea of what to expect. So that's about all the time I have for this video. Hopefully it was at least somewhat helpful and gave you some things to think about when trying to decide between the two. Can't really go wrong with either, but there are some things to consider between the two. I'll definitely be comparing the new iPad Air 5 to some other tablets, so you'll definitely want to look out for those. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.